Hello guys, welcome back again to another tutorial. My name is Dorothy. In today's video I'll be showing you how to draft this beautiful milkmaid dress with gathers. If this is something you are interested in, please make sure you watch this video to the very end so that you don't miss out on any detail. And if you are new here and you have not subscribed to the channel yet, please do well to subscribe, turn on your bell notifications so that you will get notified to when I drop new video. Now let's get started. So guys, I have my pattern paper here and we are going to be using it to draft the pattern of this dress. And as you can see, I already drew an horizontal line, and this line is going to be serving as our starting line or our shoulder line. So go ahead and do the same thing, draw a line that is going to serve as your shoulder line. Okay, so let me label this as the shoulder line like I said. So guys, here is the starting line or shoulder line, and here is the center front. Okay, this is where all our measurements will be taken from. So now the first thing we're going to do is to mark our neckline measurement. So this neckline measurement I'm going to mark is just going to serve as the guide, because this is not the actual neckline we are going to be using for the dress. So the neck width is 3 inches, while for the neck depth I came down from the shoulder line by 3 inches as well. I'm going to use my curve ruler to connect these 2 points together to create a round neckline. Like I said, this neckline measurement is going to serve as the guide. It's not the actual neckline we are going to be using for this dress. Okay, moving on, we are going to mark half of our shoulder measurement on this shoulder line. Half of the shoulder measurement that I am working with is 8 inches. The shoulder measurement is 16 divided by 2 is 8. So on this point that I mark 8 inches, I'm going to come down from there by another 8 inches. Now I'm going to use my ruler to connect the 2 points together on a straight line like this. This straight line is going to serve as the armhole line, and I'm going to connect this line horizontally like this again, and this horizontal line is going to serve as the chest line. Now to slanten the shoulder on the armhole line, I'm going to come down by ½ an inch. Then I'm going to use my ruler to connect these points that I came down by ½ an inch on the armhole line to the neck width, just like this. Now to create the armhole curve, I'm just going to measure what I have left on the armhole line. Then I will divide it by 2 by bending my tape rule like this. I'm going to mark the midpoint of this tape rule. Then on this point that I mark the midpoint, I'm going to come in by ½ an inch. Then here on the chest line, I'm just going to divide the round bust measurement that I am working with by 4 and mark it. Now I'm going to use my ruler to connect these 3 points together to create the armhole curve. Now let's mark all the vertical points, which is the bust point, the under bust point, and the waistline. So from the shoulder to the bust point is 10 inches, I marked that. Then from the shoulder to the under bust point is 13.5 inches, I marked that as well. From the shoulder to the waistline is 16 inches, I marked that. Now I'm going to use my ruler to connect all of these points that I have marked horizontally. Now let me label all of this lines so that it will be easier for us to identify. Here is the bust point, here is the under bust point, and here is the waistline. Now the next thing we are going to do is to mark our dot line. So you simply divide your nipple to nipple measurement by 2 and you mark it here on the bust point, on the under bust point, and on the waistline. Now my nipple to nipple measurement is 8 divided by 2 is 4, so I mark 4 inches on the bust point, on the under bust point, and on the waistline. Now I'm going to use my ruler to connect this point together on a straight line like this. Now for the dart leg, I'm just going to mark ½ an inch on both sides on the waistline, just the way you see me doing. After that, I'm going to place my ruler like this and I'm going to create the dart. After taking our dart, the next thing we are going to do is to mark our neckline measurement. Now you have to determine how deep you want your neckline to be, if you want to reveal some cleavage or if you don't want to reveal some cleavage. From the shoulder line, I'll come down by 7 inches. That is how deep I want the front neckline to be. After that, I'm going to use my ruler to connect this point that I marked horizontally like this. On this armhole line, that is at this point that you see me directing, I'm just going to come in by by 1 inch. Now this 1 inch measurement is for joining allowance. I'll be using half of this 1 inch to join the cup area to the dress, and I'll also be using the remaining half an inch to join the sleeve to the dress. That is when I'm sewing the dress. Now to create the bust cup, here on the under bust line, you're going to go up by 1.5 inch. After that, I'm going to use the cuff part of the ruler. I'm going to be positioning my ruler like this, then I'll connect this point to this dart leg. And I will also be connecting this second dart leg to this point. So I'll position my ruler like this. That is the cuff part of my ruler. Then I'll connect the 2 points together. After that, I'm just going to use my marker to blend this midpoint like this. Because there will be no lining for this dress, so I'll be folding the edge. At this top of the neckline, I'm just going to go up by 1 inch. After that, I'm going to use my ruler to connect the point horizontally like this. Now this 1 inch is for the hemming allowance. So I'll be labeling this folding allowance. Now let's mark all our vertical measurements. Remember, I've already marked quarter of my bust circumference measurement on the chest line. So here on the waistline, I'm just going to mark quarter of the waist circumference measurement that I am working with. So the quarter of the waist circumference measurement I am working with is 34. 34 divided by 4 is 8.5. So I mark 8.5 on the waistline. I'm going to measure this dart that I took on the waistline. I took 1 inch dart, so I replaced the same 1 inch here on the waistline. Now I'm going to use my ruler to connect this point from the armhole line to the waistline just like this. Now let's cut this out. Before we cut out the entire thing, I forgot to connect this line to the sewing allowance. So I'm just going to use my ruler to connect this bust cup line to the hemming allowance at the top here. So we will be cutting this bust cup out. But before we do that, we're going to use this pattern paper to cut out the back. Here is the pattern that I'll be using for the back piece. And as you can see, I already ruled out my zipper allowance. I just left 1 inch zipper allowance. Now I'm going to place the front pattern paper on the back pattern paper like this. You can go ahead and use your office pin to hold it together. After arranging everything and I say everything is equal, I'm just going to cut out the armhole just like this. Now to eliminate any form of zipper bulge on the waistline, I'm going to come in by 1 inch. After that, I'm going to use my ruler to connect this point that I came in by 1 inch on the waistline to the neckline like this. Now to mark the zipper allowance here on the waistline, I'm just going to mark the 1 inch zipper allowance, which is on this main zipper allowance that I wrote earlier. Now I'm going to use my ruler now to connect these points to the zipper allowance just like this. So guys, we have successfully eliminated any form of zipper bulge. Now I'm going to label this the zipper allowance. Now let's cut this out. Now I'm going to label my back pattern too. Since we are done with the back pattern, I'm just going to keep it aside while we cut out the cup on the front. Now we are going to be closing up the dart right here, so I'll just use my scissors to cut one of the dart leg. After that, I'll place the remaining side on each other like this. So I have successfully closed the dart. So the next thing I'm going to do is to use my water glue to hold these two pieces together. So this is what I have after I was done using my water glue to hold these two pieces together. Now I'm going to keep this aside while we slash and spread the cup. So here is my cup. I'm going to measure the cup, and when I measure this, I have 7 inches. So I'll be slashing this cup by 1 inch difference. Then I went on to use my ruler to connect the point on the straight line. Before I connect the point on the straight line, I'm just going to label which side is the center front and which side is the side front so that I don't make mistake. So after that, I'm just going to use my ruler to connect all the points on a straight line. Before I cut this out, I'm just going to number it. This one is 1, this one is 2, this one is 3, this one is 4, this one is 5, this one is 6, this one is 7. Now I'm just going to cut this into pieces. So guys, after cutting this into pieces, this is how I am going to be spreading this on the fabric to cut out the cup, I'll be leaving about 2 inches in between these pieces to create that fullness, that gathered fullness around the cup. If you want yours fuller, you can do 2.5 inches depending on what you want, but I think 2 inches is perfect. The gathers is not too much, everything just fits perfectly. So like I said before, this is how I'll be spreading out those pieces to cut out the cup on the main fabric that I am working with. So now I'm going to take this pattern and my fabric off camera to cut it out. I have also cut out the parts that I will be using to create the gathered part of the dress. The total length of the dress that I am working on is 35 inches plus the hemming allowance. Already I have taken 9 inches for the half length or the upper bodice. So 35 minus 9 is 26 inches. So this pieces of fabric that I'm holding right now is going to be 26 inches long. So when I measured this on the fabric, I had more than 24.5 inches, almost 25 inches, and as you can see, the fabric is very squeezed. So by the time I iron this out, I will have the 26 inches measurement. Now that we have gotten the length of the fabric, the next thing we are going to do is to measure out this width, and when I measure this all the way around, I have 2.5 inches, which is just perfect to create the gathers. So I'm going to keep this aside now while we work on the sleeve. So I've cut out the portion that I'll be using to draft out my sleeve, and as you can see, this fabric is already folded into 2. So now I'm just going to arrange this very well because I'll be cutting the both sleeves together. After arranging all the edges and everything is in place, I'm just going to fold it again, making it fall fold. Now I'll place the back piece that I have already cut out on this piece, then I'll cut out the armhole just the way you see me doing. After cutting out the armhole, I will open this up, then divide the sleeve. So guys, we are basically done drafting this pattern and cutting out every pieces we need in making this dress, and I'm going to stop here because I don't want this video to be too long. So if you have watched this video to this point, thank you very much. I hope you find this video really helpful, and if you did, please do well to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you drop a comment. If you have any question, any suggestion, any feedback, let me know in the comment section. I will respond to your comment. If you have not subscribed to the channel yet, please do well to subscribe. Turn on your bell notification so that you will get notified when I drop new video. For now, bye. I will see you all in my next video.